Thank you for having me on.
Of course, thank you for coming.
When I was a little kid, I was the kid that no one could hang out with. They're like, no, you don't want to hang out with Garrain. He gets everybody in trouble. So I always have these surreal moments where I'm like, wow, people actually want to talk to me though. It's because I never see the stardom, or I never see myself out there because I'm always in the moment. Mm-hmm. But it isn't when people say, yo, really, we've been trying to get you on. I'm like, I'm just grateful. So thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
So my story.
I want you to start from the beginning. You were in the music industry. This whole thing about living out of your car, getting out of that place, being in the middle of the road, yelling, kind of pleading, get me out of this place. And then how you transitioned into completely changing your mindset, the whole shift with it, reading these books, all these different things.
Yeah. So music industry is not the beginning. Like any decision that we make as adults is based off of a set of agreements that we made when we were like 5 and 6 years old. It's only amplified. So I'll give you just like this small little taste of my past. Yeah. And as you can see how ABCs turns into words, turns into sentences, and keeps on like evolving, you'll see how my past from when I was a little kid turned into what happened to me living in the car. I come from an environment where everybody was extremely insecure. People talked down on themselves. Nobody had faith. No one came from money. I always heard things like, we don't have any money. We don't have any money. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. There's no possible way that a child can grow up with the context of abundance inside of a poverty-stricken mindset. So I came from that environment. Dad was a drug dealer. My mother was out hustling. My father was murdered when I was 12 years old. Brother was too cool to hang out with me. And I pretty much raised myself, me, and being in the streets. And so as a little kid, when my mother we call it domestication. Like animals are domesticated. They give me your paw, you get this. So kids are also domesticated. If you do this, you'll get a spanking. If you do this, you'll get money. You'll do that. Kids are domesticated the same way that animals are. Yeah. So inside of my domestication as a little kid was poverty, lackful thinking, talking bad about yourself, not knowing what value is, watching TV, eating fatty foods like everybody in my family, bacon double cheeseburger, Frito pies, ice cream, gummy bears, Sour Patch Kids, sour straws, almost every day. That was my nutritious meal. So I didn't have any awareness of what healthy, active lifestyle is. Uh-huh. So this is my domestication. Now, fast forward, going to California where it's 10 times faster, 10 times more expensive, and I'm there trying to figure it out, wondering why no money is coming. I always had talent. I just didn't know how to make things work because I wasn't a relational person. I didn't know how to build relationships. I didn't know anything about team. I ran track, so I only played sports where you can be good by yourself. You're part of a team, but really, I can be good by myself. Right. Ball hogging basketball, really didn't care about football. So it was everything. I got to figure this out by myself. Now, fast forward to California, can't figure out a way to make money. Was never taught those skills. Didn't value myself, talked about people, watched TV, ate fatty foods, and wondering why my life's not working. Yeah. And trying to change everything on the surface. You change anything on the surface, that's like trying to cut a weed at the top and expecting it to be gone. You got to cut it from the root. I didn't know that. You can't change what you're not aware of. Right. So now I'm in California trying to figure out life. Nothing is working. I get in trouble for doing everything I can to make money. Start driving this car over this border from this country to this other country. Get busted for smuggling 6.2 kilos of heroin from France to the UK. Wow. Spent the next 2.5 years in a French prison.
What was your thoughts when you got busted?
I was so deathly afraid. One, because in my head, only thing I know about prison is what I see on TV. I'm like, I can fight. I can't fight off these big old dudes. And I'm like, damn, they're going to take my manhood. Every negative thought I could think about, there was no thinking positively from there. So in my head, I'm thinking everything is going to go wrong. I was modeling at the time. I was doing so much stuff. And I was just about to book this huge thing for MTV. And then all of a sudden, I have billboards in Times Square. I have spreads in magazines and everything for modeling, commercials out, music videos out. Bam, I go to prison.
Wow.
And just as fast as it came, just as fast as it was taken away, because I was focused on money and not anything else. I put money over people.
Wow.
And there's more people being produced in the world than money. But I didn't know that. So my ego, my pride had me then. I'm like, what did I just do? So now I'm in prison. What am I going to do? I have a brand new daughter. I have this career. It's over. I have 6.2 kilos of heroin. Wow. They tested it 3 times. Jeez. So I'm overseas in France.
Oh my God.
Like, this is I can't even speak the language. So this is what I was in. Deathly afraid. When I got there, I saw that the environment was way different than what I saw on TV. In America, they want you to kill yourself. In Europe, they actually want you to rehabilitate.
They want you to get better.
It's like night and day than what I saw on TV. In Europe, they actually want you to rehabilitate.
Interesting.
And so I'm in there. I'm seeing killers. I'm seeing pedophiles. I'm seeing certain people, and I was like, why? What am I doing here?
Yeah. You knew it wasn't right for you.
100%. Before I even went in, I remember saying, I just feel so far away from where I'm supposed to be. I feel like I'm just trapped in this prison. Yeah. And I used to say it all the time. And then all of a sudden, I was so far away. I literally manifested, and I wasn't aware, but I manifested being so far away from where I'm supposed to be, trapped in a prison.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So what happened while you were in prison?
First month felt like 10 years went by because I was watching the clock.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the clock. I'm watching the clock. I'm watching the clock. But see, what happens is when all you have is time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I wasn't bothered by a girlfriend, no bills, no anything. The only thing I had to do was watch my back. Mm-hmm. All I had was time. I said, what can I do in here that I wouldn't normally do out there? I stopped using my right hand, and I started using my left hand, my non-dominant hand.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it would operate a different part of my brain. I start writing. When you write with your non-dominant hand, it looks like a little kid. You actually activate the inner child when you start doing it. It looks like a little kid. Uh-huh. In those moments, I was like, what else can I do? I start reading. So I read over 275 books in there.
Wow.
And I just kept reading and writing notes down and reading and filling my brain. I read the Bible cover to cover 8 times. I read the Quran cover to cover 8 times. I learned sign language. I was learning Braille. I was just feeding myself. And I didn't know what would happen with all of this knowledge. I had no idea. Oh, no, it's just, I got to my place I got myself to such stillness that I could start memorizing my dreams in specific detail. Usually, you get your dreams and you're like, what was that? What I was thinking about?
Yeah.
But I was so quiet. And I was praying every day. I was meditating every day. I was already in the mindset of adaptability, right, which I didn't even know. I didn't know what was happening inside of me. Mm-hmm. All I know is I was trying to keep my mind off of being in there. Yeah. And all I had was time. But by me, people don't adapt. That's not something that people do as they get older. Uh-huh. They find their fixed patterns and they carry that out to their grave. It's the whole change your mindset, change your life. Yeah. So by me taking on something I'd never done, it was utilizing parts of my brain I'd never used, which was stimulating all accesses. The only time you still stimulate all accesses of your brain is when you're actually learning something new. Right. Until it becomes a habit, then you don't stimulate those parts no more. Mm-hmm. So I used my left hand. And when I'm using my left hand, I start remembering, oh, I love singing. I start remembering everything that I used to love to do. And then I was like, oh, I love doing art. Uh-huh. And then I started doing my art. And this is everything I did when I was a kid.
Wow.
I forgot this. And I love dancing. And I just started dancing regardless of my circumstances or where I was. I was just trying to keep my mind off of that. And every time I was doing everything that I loved, there was this power, sense of power, and like what I now know is love filling up my tank.
Interesting.
It like energetically, like powering up. Yeah. So I kept doing that, drawing, doing everything. And mind you, so I do all this stuff, not realizing what's happening, and then I'm at they have this thing called promenade. Okay. Promenade is where in America they call it the yard. I mean, that's where they walk around. Okay. They're playing basketball, they fight. Mm-hmm. They call it promenade. It's people stabbing each other, fighting, passing drugs, all kind of stuff. A little voice inside, in the midst of all that, says, "Run. You love to run." Nobody was running. I'm like, nope, I'm going to play the role. People were scared of me because I'm American.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I got a super pass. Because the gangsters in France actually wanted to be like the Americans. I had tattoos on my body. Trust me, I played the role.
Yeah.
100%. So I got killers wanted to be my friend. They just wanted to know stuff about America.
That gives you a leg up.
Yo, it was crazy. I never would have predicted that. So here I am. A voice says, "Run. You love to run." Nope. And then it keeps getting louder. And then weird stuff started happening around me when I didn't honor. The voice says, "Do this. Do this." I'm like, nope. And then one day, amidst all of the chaos, next day, 3 people running with me. Next day, 10 people running with me. And then within a month, there were 75 people running with me. I didn't know that what I loved was bringing joy to other people, which means, joy to the world, the Lord has come. So now I was like, wait. It's like, I'm just bringing joy. This is what I love. And then the people were coming.
Wow.
And I didn't know that that's called adding value, because I didn't realize this connecting the dots until I connected the dots going backwards. Mm-hmm. So here I am in prison, serving a 12-year sentence, 6.2 kilos of heroin. If you appeal in Europe, it's like a sign of disrespect, and they'll give you more time. So I didn't appeal. Wow. It's a way different justice system. Uh-huh. So I'm in prison, doing all this stuff, and I start running, and all of a sudden, everything just started changing. Everything just started changing. Even the Sauveillon, that's the guard, brought me into his office and said, "Thank you." Because ever since I've been running, it's been less fights, less drug deals, less stabbing, and I was just doing what I loved. Wow. I didn't know that this was happening. I was just doing everything that was already inside of me. The bird doesn't know it's a bird. It's just flying with everything that's already inside of him.
Yeah.
However, if the bird were to try to be an alligator, you can see how life would be difficult. I was just doing everything that was already inside of me. Filling up my own cup. The final straw, I'm watching a movie called Shawshank Redemption. Okay. Anthony Robbins says, "They can take everything away from me. They can't take away my mind. As long as I'm doing everything that I love, then I'll always be free."
Yeah.
In that moment, I was no longer in prison, and I knew why I got to prison. Because I put myself in there by saying I'm in prison so far away from where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. And in that moment, I realized that I was doing everything that I loved already. I didn't do that out there.
Yeah.
I did that in here. And so what was building up inside of me started to overflow and spill over into the physical evidence of my life.
Wow.
Now imagine a pregnant woman when there's something, an entity that's growing inside of her to the point of capacity that something gets to be produced on the outside. Right. So in my spiritual context, the value that I was adding was too big for the space. So what was impregnated which was my value growing on the inside. What was produced is a free Garrain on the outside. Wow. 2.5 years I got out. Nobody knows how. I know how now.
Interesting.
And then magically, the drugs that they tested 3 times, 6.2 kilos of heroin. Yeah. The drugs are fake. You're free to go.
No way. Wow. So it's almost like it was for a reason.
Oh.
Completely 100, for a reason.
But I utilize all that stuff right now.
So when you got out, how did you get past that? Because when you get out of prison, typically it's like a new fresh start.
Yeah.
Probably in your mind.
Yeah.
So after that, what was the first step in kind of going on with your life? You're like, what do I do now?
So I was like, what do I do now? And it was very difficult. It was such a struggle for me. And they had to release me where I was living, which was in New York at the time. Yeah. And it reached this point where the girl that I was staying with, Samantha, she allowed me to stay. We were sleeping. I was sleeping on one end. She was sleeping on the other end, like whatever. She went out of town. Okay. She's out of town. I lost the key. My phone was dead. I'm in Central Park. Okay. I fall asleep on the bench. I don't know who to call. It starts raining. And I don't know where to go. I have no money. I wake up and there's bums sleeping on me. And I'm like, I can't. I was like, I got to go back home. Okay. So that's when I went back home to my house in Missouri City. Yeah. And I retraced my steps from when I was a little kid all the way up to current date. So I went and visited all my teachers. Okay. I went and climbed the tree that I used to climb so I could restore myself. Yeah. When I was a little kid, climbed the tree, run. I broke the record for the 6-minute mile when I was 9 years old at my elementary school, still there after all these years. Wow. I went there and ran the same time just so I could get life back again. Yeah. And I started doing it, and I felt it took me 2.5 months of basically recharging and remembering who I am. Then I went to California to try to figure life out.
Okay. So what happened then?
Then I met someone told me I should model, and it's the craziest thing in the world because I was 5'9.5", and at Los Angeles, it wasn't diverse, so you didn't see very many African American models during that time in 2000, and you Tyson Beckford and some other light skinned dude. That was it. So for me, someone's like, "You should model." I'm like, "What?" 5'9". I'm like, I don't have any pictures. I have no abs. I don't look like anybody. There's all these different things, right? And so finally I was like, you know what? I was like, I'll just do it. I looked up every single, they said, look up a couple. I take the word couple and I refrained it to all. Uh-huh. Yeah. Pay attention to the mentality. Yes. Not what it is, the mentality. Yeah. They said couple. I looked up every agency in Los Angeles, wrote it down with the intention to go to all of them. Yeah. No car, hardly any money, no comp cards, no professional photos, no model clothes, and I think I'm ugly.
Oh, God. Cherry on top, right?
Yeah. And in my mind, and I'm black. No chance. In an industry where it's 2 to 1 million chance during that time. It's very different now. Yeah. So went to one, took the bus, got rejected. Went to another one, got rejected. Was talking to this lady named Shannon Davidson. It was my birthday. She gave me a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. I read The Power of Positive Thinking. I didn't know that what you read it causes you to think certain things, and what you think you manifest, and when you focus on it for long enough, concentrated power. Right. Had no idea. So all of this stuff was happening while I wasn't aware. So I'm reading the book, and I was like, hey, man, I'm just reading this book. I just feel good, every time I'm reading it. Yeah. I go the next day, get rejected. Go to the next agency, another rejection. So it's 3-4 rejections a day. But who's really going to do that? Mm-hmm. Who's really going to go past the third rejection when somebody says, oh, we already have somebody like you. Oh, you're too short. Yeah,
No one.
So I went through 4 days of rejections. Wow. Fast forward, rejection, 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 reject. And I put all the easy ones I knew I was going to get in first. I put Wilhelmina and Ford last.
Oh, God.
Rejection, rejection, rejection. Wilhelmina, we already have somebody that, Ford, we already have somebody that looks like you. And the way that they were looking at me, I was just like, so I'm getting ready to quit. I was like, what's the purpose? I get to Wilhelmina. There's all these people. Like, it's a cattle call. Like, damn near 70 people. And they're getting rejected every 5 seconds. Get in there. Next. And these guys are like 6'2", sweater abs. They all look like David Beckham and Tyson Beckford in every single nationality. I look like none of them. I was insecure. I was like, if they rejected them, of course they're going to reject me. I get all the way downstairs. Something tells me to go back up. Yeah. Come this far, keep going. So I go back up. And then they're rejecting more people. Rejection. I'm one of the last people. Rejection, rejection, rejection. It gets to the third to the last person. I was like, this is BS. I'm leaving. I go to leave. Little voice says, you've come this far. Keep going. Go back in there. And all of a sudden, little bitty guy named David Todd, he comes up to me. Mind you, I'm new to Los Angeles. Yeah. So it's new for me to be around the LGBT community. It's new for me to be around openly gay people coming from Houston, Texas. So I was like, this is like so weird. Like where I come from, like people were like beating up people like that. And it's like, and people are just so open, and so I didn't know how to be in that moment. Now it's like straight. I was one of the first people to even shoot the no hate campaign, like literally before it became cool. Yeah. So David Todd comes up, and I'm like, he's about to reject me. He goes, take your shirt off. I'm going to take your Polaroids.
Oh, he's into you.
And I'm like, this is longer than the other people in my head. And then afterwards, in my head, it's like, they're not going to pick me. I don't look like anybody. And then he goes, we'd love to represent you. Wow. You don't look like anybody. And the thing that I was deathly afraid of was the very thing that they were looking for. Yeah. Not this cookie cutter person. It was, wow. He sent me on an audition, Destiny's Child Jumpin', the lead for that video, Skechers campaign, Buckle campaign. I had a car. I didn't even make the Destiny's Child Jumpin' video because I couldn't get there. I woke up the next day. They're like, congratulations, you booked all 3.
Holy shit.
And I'm like, and in my head, I didn't want to tell them I didn't make the audition.
Yeah.
And I was like, even the Destiny's Child? He was like, yes. Beyonce came in because she was with Wilhelmina, came in here and personally handpicked your card.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went on to book Wilson's Leather, Tommy Hilfiger, and all this other. I went on to book all of those things.
So after that, at that point, were you still making a decent amount of money and you were kind of thinking, what's next?
Well, the thing about it is I had no kind of mentor, no coaching. So anything I made, I spent. Like now so I'm doing investment.
You really weren't making much at the time at all.
Oh, I was making money, but I was spending it.
You were spending all of it. So then from that point on, how did you get out of that to build businesses? You went to a completely different thing.
Oh, no, I didn't go into businesses that. I just kept losing. I'm like, man, how do I have all this money? I lose it. It's like there was a hole in my bank account.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that who you are, money will always match the value in which the way you show up in the world. Like the way that you see yourself, money either wants to be your friend or you're deflecting it because you're either insecure deep down on the inside and you don't even know what true value is. When you truly know what true value is, abundance really wants to flow itself in your life if you will allow it and surrender. Had no idea. So I'm just childhood mindset. I don't love myself. I don't love myself. I don't love myself. I don't love myself. I hate. I'm insecure. The money was going out just like that. So I lose it all, get in trouble again. I was always in the trouble. And then I went on from 2005, 2006, all the way to 2011, from couch to couch to couch to girl's house to couch to couch, and I couldn't seem to get out of that cycle of sin.
Okay.
And I was like, how do I get back into that flow that I used to be in? I started reading The Power of Positive Thinking again. And then when I was living in my car. I was in the lowest part of my life. Over $200,000 in debt, not including the money that I owed other people who will go unnamed, because it was like, I was always after the money.
Yeah.
Girlfriend had just broke up with me. Daughter pretty much disowned me. My mom was dying in the hospital. I'm like, yo, why am I here? Like, why? I don't know why I'm here.
Yeah.
It was in that moment where it was at 3:43 in the morning. Eyes bloodshot red. Just got my car. My mom just got my car out of the impound. Window was busted out the same day that it got out at LA Fitness.
Oh, God. Put
scotch tape and a white t-shirt on the thing. I was on the corner of La Brea and Hollywood, and that's when I cried out. And I was like, okay, I'm tired of fighting. I don't want to fight anymore. That time, I went from 150 to almost 200 pounds.
Wow.
It's like 18% body fat. I went from a size 31 waist to the 36-inch waist.
Well, the modeling screwed up.
Oh, no, it was gone. Gone.
Yeah.
But how I thought I looked, because you can't see the picture while you're in the frame.
Exactly.
How I thought I looked was how I looked back then.
Yeah.
However, it didn't look the same.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family, I don't have any awareness around this, because everybody in my family was overweight except for my aunt Yvette, but health consciousness wasn't taught in my family.
Yeah.
So when I cried out for help, I was like, I'm tired of fighting. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy. I want to be surrounded by nothing but positive people. I just want to inspire people. And I want to make a bunch of money, but I want the money to represent something that I passionately believe in, that I would do for free. Just show me a sign. Show me a sign. A week later, I'm at the gas station. Homeless guy walks up to me asking me for money. I said, you have more money than me. And he said, change your mindset, change your life.
Wow, he said that? Ah.
First time words had ever stopped me in my tracks. I've always heard people give me advice. I never listened to anybody.
Yeah.
Change your mindset, change your life. And it just made me think. It was like a broken record.
Yeah.
Change your mindset, change your life. So if my mind is set on something, then that's why the result is what it is. So if I do different with the same circumstance, then my life will change. So I just started doing the opposite. Like literally with everything. Normally I would take the stairs, the escalators. Change your mindset, change your life. So I took the stairs. Normally I use gel soap. Change your mindset, change your life. So I use bar soap. Normally I eat this burger. So I eat something healthy. And then opposite of everything, just being an entrepreneur and a part of a huge wellness company. I never would have done that because I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Change your mindset, change your life. So I said yes. Going to a seminar, never would have went there. Change your mindset, change your life. So I did. Dress for excellence. No, I wear what the hell I want to wear.
Yeah.
Change your mindset, change your life.
Started dressing different too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so what happened was I started transforming my mind. Things that people pay millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars in workshops. I started organically doing that, not aware. However, after 2 years, I was already earning in the ranges of $40,000 a month. After 2 years of doing something different than I was doing. And I didn't even know that was a part of the process until I started going to workshops.
You have the patience too.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
Well, when you get an instant result off of something, Wait. I did the opposite. This happened. Okay. do the opposite again. And it happens again.
Yeah.
I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired, and it was easy for me to notice when something was way different than what it was before.
So because you got the power of positive thinking a lot. So whenever you kind of had negative thoughts, did you just keep reading it? Is that why you kept reading over and over again?
Well, think about this. You listen to a song over and over and over and over and over and over. What are you doing for the next month?
It's playing in your head all the time.
Yeah. So we have our subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And then we have our conscious mind.
Right.
So kind of like when I was in the prison, when you fill it up, when you fill whatever you fill it up with, it's produced in the physical on the outside. So let's just say the conscious mind is male.
Right.
The subconscious mind is female.
Okay.
Creativity, music, all that other stuff, right? It's feminine. Whatever you do in the conscious, meaning I'm reading this, I'm listening to this TV, I'm surrounded by my negative parents who beat each other, is impregnating your subconscious mind. When it starts to fill out the space so much, what's produced in the physical, which would normally be a baby, would be what your life looks like. So that's why when you listen to negativity, negative, speak negative, think negative, around negative people, you impregnate your subconscious mind. It gives birth to a negative life.
Interesting.
100%.
Wow.
And when you can master that, you'll be a master manifester. Because we're all manifesting.
Yeah.
It's just if you want the stuff or not.
So now you've, of course, changed to a completely different person. What do you do now to keep that momentum going? I know you have an hour in the morning where it's called the
Panda Power.
Panda Power Hour. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So, my life before, I would wake up. We have 24 hours to be successful. I would wake up, do nothing for 2 hours, scroll for another 2 hours. Yeah, scroll for another 2 to 3 hours. So that's already 5 hours dipped into 24, which means 21. And I would sleep for 10 hours. So take another 10 hours away from the 21, and that's 11 hours. And I was in a relationship that I didn't want to be in. So between the texting, the arguing, and all this other stuff, that's another 2 hours. So minus 2 hours from 11, that's 9 hours. Then I call myself being a promoter at a club. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, get my money at 3. So when you take that 9 hours from 5, well, guess what? Now you got 4 hours to be successful. Where did all the time go? Then I have a daughter. Then I still got to eat. Then I was working out twice a week. So then you end up really pretty much almost everybody in the world who doesn't understand how to manage themselves inside of time end up wasting their lives away, procrastinating, complaining, scrolling, texting, watching useless TV, listening to useless music that's not going towards your goals, and hanging out with people that's not serving you moving forward. Exactly. And when you add all of that up, I was living 49 hours in a 24-hour time slot. So I was living a negative life, wondering, where did 15 years ago? Yeah, because you can be here and not be here.
Yeah.
So I created the Panda Power Hour. What I started doing is maximizing my morning. So your brain doesn't respond to big progress or little progress. It just responds to progress. If anybody's in sales, when you get sales 3 days in a row, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, man, I'm the man, I'm the woman.
Yeah, you get motivated.
You know what I'm saying? When you don't have any sales for a whole entire week and your job is being threatened, you're like, you're operating from fear.
Yeah, you're like, shit, what do I do?
So, what I wanted to do is just create momentum that would start my engine. You know, everything in the world, before it acquires food, before the car drives the road, before a rocket ship takes off requires a startup process. We get up. What am I supposed to do? It's like zombies in cemeteries. Not where you see the most dead people. So we walk around every day and people have no idea where they're going in life. So I needed to create, and this may not work for everyone else. It sure as hell works for me.
Yeah.
I needed to create a way to start up the engine of Garrain. Not the engine of other people and pleasing other people and doing this and getting on my emails and doing all this stuff, because it was taking energy away, taking all my chi away. I need to be the most powerful, highest version of myself out into the world. Write a list of things that I was already going to do. Wake up, make my shake, my tea, my tablets, do some push-ups. Not for the workout, but just to boost the serotonin in my body. Which is the molecule that actually makes you happy. Boost the serotonin in my body. Do some morning affirmations. Contact 10 of my clients and say, you're amazing, I'm so proud of you. Not getting anything in return. Calling people and acknowledging them for something that they've done in my past. Not expecting anything in return. This is all about me giving. It's like breathing out. So I put all those things on there. And so what I do is I keep things, my whole entire house is designed like the inside of my heart. All the colors, all the plants, the pictures and everything. It's literally, if you walked into my loving heart, it's literally like walking to my house. I don't have anything just because it fits a space in the house. Everything is heart-based stuff. Picture of my daughter, picture of my mom, favorite color, all by my nightstand. I look at that, look at the list, look at that. Look at the list. Look at that. Really get present to how much I love it. Then I start transmuting that energy to the list. Then when the list takes on the energy of what I've transmuted it to, then I go to sleep. When I go to sleep, my mind goes to work. So things are already starting to work in my favor, because the last 5 minutes, the most important when you go to sleep. When you go to sleep, there are no walls. Everything goes up and it starts working either in your favor for the next day or you being on the defensive. So if you don't have a proper plan to go to sleep, what you think is freedom is actually you combating things all throughout the day.
Yes.
So I create my power hour at night, knowing what I'm going to do as it's being manifested already. Frequency, energy, love, everything. In the morning, when I wake up, my number one goal is to see how much I can get done within the first hour.
Interesting.
When people are trying to meet deadlines, they do 10 times more than they do when there's no accountability.
Wow.
So my accountability doesn't happen at the end of the month. That's the beginning of every day, which is why my production in anything that I touch is typically 10 times more than most people.
I'm sure. Well, I think a lot of people should adopt that too.
Yeah.
Adopt that style each day.
So I do it. So I wake up, check. But in my head is progress. I have my shake and my tablets. Progress. Push-ups, progress. Message people, progress.
Yeah.
Brush my teeth, progress. Affirmation, progress. Prayer, progress. Meditation, progress. Do my favorite dance with no clothes on, progress. Whatever it is, but my brain says, boom, boom, success, success. Make my bed, success, success, success. Within the first hour, I got 34 things done. Most people on this planet got 3 things done, and they're trying to figure out using energy. See, my energy is being stored and powered and everything through the night because I've already set myself up to win. Using energy. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And we wonder why there's only 2% wealthy in the world. The rest will die trying to figure it out.
Yeah. You're so right about. I think this is something that everyone needs to listen to because it's very important. Because no one applies it. No one, exactly like what you said, the 2%.
And so what I did, for 5 straight years, I applied it, and I said, I want to see what it would be like if I don't apply it. And I just started waking up, knowing what I know. It was I did a month-long deal.
Yeah.
I started feeling cranky. these negative thoughts like weeds in a flower bed start growing. I'm like, why am I having this? Why is this person being attracted to my life? Like, man, my car got messed up. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, my power hour. Because it takes you right outside of your out of the rhythm. Mm-hmm. In the 3-part harmony, one note is off key. It throws the whole thing off.
Right.
So my power hour is designed to set you up in a way where you feel at your optimal. Just because you're getting stuff done, you feel good about yourself. Like, it's just like, man, it's doing the mind, the body, the soul. And this is the first hour. And guess what happens the next hour?
You're already ready to go. I'm
already ready to go, but I already have so much momentum.
Yes.
And that's why I can just keep going and going and going and going. The next hour, I have all these messages because of the energy that I generated. All of these messages like, yo, I really need that. Now I get to receive. So you breathe the air out, and that signifies life.
Wow. Okay, so now you're writing a book on all of this, right?
Oh, yeah, it's got that stuff in there.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life is, I took 2,000 index cards, and I went to random strangers. It's like, if you can ask life a question that would like answer your lifelong question, what would it be? And I knew, I was like, if I overcame one of those things and I had a result from it, I knew I could answer the world's questions. I could support them. And a lot of it had to do with purpose. A lot of it had to do with past. A lot of it had to do with forgiveness and all these different things. And then people just kept saying, you should write a book. You should write a book. I was like, shoot.
It's like your own version of the power of positive thinking.
Yeah. It's a little bit more complex because Norman Vincent Peale references other people.
Yeah.
I've lived such a crazy life that I could literally just reference my life.
That's amazing.
Literally validates every single point that I make, and I got a result from it, and I've taught it to thousands of people and watched it grow through their life.
Wow. And when's that coming out?
So the final edit goes in at the end of this month.
And you've also started the Youth Foundation, is that correct?
So it'll be out in 2019. So the Change Your Mindset Youth Foundation, it's like I come from an inner city background, a very tough upbringing, and you're almost doomed from getting any kind of coaching like this or any kind of just like education, knowing that it's like rich dad, poor dad, but it's like knowing that there is somebody that came from there.
Yes.
And it's not somebody that came from the other way giving advice. Somebody actually came from there, made it out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And because I've seen it happen, and I have this gift with children. I don't speak to the children, just our souls connect and magical things just happen. And I was like, well, there's something here. I've seen kids talk themselves off of ledges because of a video that I posted that they related to. And they're 15 years old.
That should make you feel pretty good.
Oh, so good. Yeah. So that will be launching this year, and I'm doing 3-day transformation workshops all over the world. Nice. My next one is in March in the UK.
Awesome.
And it's a Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life 3-day transformation workshop, like group activities, experiential training. So it's
hands-on.
So good. That's my favorite stuff.
Good.
That's my favorite stuff. So that, speaking engagements, TV, radio, all this kind of stuff that I never knew, but it makes sense because the bigger the message, the bigger the stage, bigger the audience, bigger the outcome.
And your energy, it really feeds off of people. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest advice that you would give to someone who's kind of stuck in this place that doesn't know where to go to get out?
One, I would write a list of things that you love to do. Mm-hmm. And a list of things that you're good at. And I would start small. Google started in a garage. I started in my car.
Yeah.
I was working people out for free on a mountain while I was living in my car. 75 people. I stayed consistent. They kept showing up. I was empowering them. And now it's just like everything about my life is what I was doing back then.
That's amazing.
So start small. Know what you love. When you know what you love, you'll know who you are. I'm going to say that again. Start small. Babies start small.
Yes.
Know what you love. What you love, what brings you the absolute most joy. It doesn't have to bring you money right now, and I know your circumstances could be dire. However, some crazy statistic, I don't know the exact statistics, so I don't want to misquote, of people dying from heart attack on Mondays on their way to their 9-to-5 jobs that they work at out of security and fear.
Exactly right.
To get paid less than their value and call another man or woman a boss.
That's exactly right.
No little child would ever say, when I grow up, I want to work a 9-to-5 desk job. And no, it's always something massive. But what happens? I wanted to be a superhero. I wanted to be stronger than the average man. I wanted to have abs like an action figure. And I wanted to save people's lives all over the world. So guess what? That's what I'm doing.
There you go.
What people would think is amazing is just little bitty Garrain living out his childhood dreams. And when you access your inner child, that comes with extra powers, like extra powers that are unforeseen, call it faith, God, universe, whatever. When you access the things that you love that bring you the most joy, and it's bringing joy to other people's lives, you will have favor on your life. You just got to fill your cup up first. So you might not see the result, but pay attention to how you're feeling. And when your feeling fills out the space so much, what grows inside of you starts to spill over into the physical evidence. And once that starts to fill up so much, it starts evolving. Kindergarten, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Super Mario Brothers. You go to the next level, next level, next level. Our life structured the same way.
That's so interesting. God, I can't wait to read this book now, too.
I know. It's going to be really good. And it's an easy read. It's like I can speak on so many different levels. However, I know where most people are in the world.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an easy. It's like you don't have to look up words. It's going to be an easy read, a people's guide to understanding the power that already exists inside, so that you can actually access it and produce extraordinary results in your life.
One of the best piece of advice that I don't think many people are applying. So if they want to hear more about you, where can they go? What's your social media?
I thought you'd never ask. So you can go to my Instagram at Garrain.Jones, Garrain.Jones. Facebook, Garrain Jones. Snapchat, Garrain Jones. YouTube, Garrain Jones. And subscribe to my website, and that's GarrainJones.com. My Panda Power Hour is on there on a free ebook. We got lots of really cool stuff coming out. I have an app out called Life You Love, and there's like coaching series on there. So go get that. And I'm just really excited because all this stuff to just get out.
Yes, of course. Well, thank you so much. Again, this is Annie Cooper with Garrain Jones. Woo!